Okay, so when we bought this house, this whole thing was wood chips over landscape fabric. It was disgusting. We had sod put down, which was, by the way, a huge mistake because I've been ripping up that sod fabric ever since. Um, Sorry, I'm spinning. It's awful. It's awful. Behind me, what I was just walking on, used to be all this horrible cement block. It was a patio that was dipping in the middle. It like all went down, and so right here it just water pooled. It was awful. Our basement flooded, so we took that out. I took that out and got a chip drop, and that's all wood chips. So hopefully I can build that up as soil. This is like the only real sun we get back here. Okay, so back to the flower garden. This was all, it was hideous. Um, so I've been working the last, I don't know, 7 years that we've owned this house to make this into something more beautiful. So all of these, with a few exceptions, I bought a few plants, but I've been, don't tell anyone, stealing plants, and you only have to buy lamb's ear once. That stuff is impossible to kill, and you can propagate it. Even when it looks like it's dead, you can propagate it. So I've just been moving that around. I've got some sage here that's really taking off. A peony that has never bloomed. I'm going to give it one more year, and then he's dead. This really hideous chain link fence that I'm trying to train some jasmine up. I don't know. My cosmos are kind of nuts this year. So again, we got a chip drop and made this little path. This here is all busted up stones from our old patio. I know Queen Anne's lace is a weed. I don't care. Pollinators love it. The pollinators are mad crazy about this yard. This here is a snowball viburnum. I love it, but it's, a neighbor and I have been really working on getting the traveler's joy and wisteria out of it. But I really trimmed the hell out of it this year because it was really shady here, and like the viburnum was almost down to the ground. So I've got two evergreen huckleberries here, which there's one, there's the other. I planted them 3 years ago and they have grown approximately 1 inch. This beautiful columbine, which looks like nothing, just seed pods that I found in the neighborhood. Here's another one of those roses. Where are we at? There we are. This one's doing really well. Her sister, the other cutting, is kind of buried under here somewhere. Where are the leaves? Like right there. So hopefully, I'm hoping it's a climbing rose. It's got really tiny leaves. It was up against a fence. We'll see. So this yarrow came from, after we planted the sod, I let the chickens free range, and they literally ate everything, like every last thing in this yard. So I reseeded when I still thought I wanted a lawn with an eco pollinator mix that was yarrow and clover. So I've got clover everywhere, and this yarrow is just, when you don't mow it, grows really tall, and sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's white. These are probably invasive, but they're a campanula, I don't know, that volunteered in the front yard, and I've just been moving them around. I like them. I have two currants, a black currant and a red currant. They were teeny tiny twigs when I put them in last year, so they've really grown. I got approximately 7 currants, and so hopefully next year I'll get some more. You can see back there, this wisteria vine is all up this fence. It's the devil. I cut it down probably once a week and just chop and drop, so it doesn't look great back there. A lot of this is native. There is some astilbe, mallow, I don't know what that is. But I'm trying to put a lot of natives in here. I might put the blueberries over here, I might not. I have a lot of hostas. My mom had hostas at our house growing up. I really love them. Some of them get a little bleached. I also have always wanted to grow hydrangeas. Never been successful. These guys lived on the south side of my house and we're getting just blasted. So I moved this one, and there's one by the front of the side yard. So I've got a brush pile that I will probably reduce. A lot of this is usable wood. Permaculture, you get a yield, and this wood will be very useful in maybe future hugelkultur beds or staking things. Right now it's just kind of wildlife habitat and pure laziness on my part. And then I've got this ginormo compost heap, which I really need to turn. There's a lot of vines in it, so it gets caught up on my pitchfork. And I'm trying to make as much of my own soil here so I don't have to buy bagged soil. I've had to do that for my raised beds. Anyway, it's a tiny yard. This is a tiny, tiny yard, but I love it here. And I wish I could have seen this or believed that this could happen when we bought this house.